What's going on, family? Thank you for joining me on this live stream. And I have a couple guests for you tonight, but I want to talk to you about what this live stream is going to concern. It is going to be a what we believe is going to happen in the Charlotte real estate market for 2023. We're rounding out, finishing 2022, and it's been a crazy year. Absolutely crazy. Interest rates started in the threes in January 2022. They went up to the sevens in November, and now we're down to 6.5, if you want to say that's down. Earlier this month, we saw low sixes, and I even had somebody close at 499. And we'll talk about different strategies that you can use as a buyer moving forward. But the two guests I have for you tonight, uh, I have true respect for them, their work ethic, their knowledge, and Ashley doesn't even know this, but I started my YouTube channel because of her. And they go above and beyond for their clients. And that's something I respect. And that's something that I take pride in for me and my team to go above and beyond. So without further ado, I have Ashley Jamerson.
Hi, guys.
Shawn Gerald tonight.
How you guys doing? Hello.
Can you introduce yourself and tell everybody how they can contact you?
Ladies first.
Okay, so I'm nervous. Okay, so I'm Ashley Jamerson. I am broker owner of Ashley Lambert Realty. I've been licensed since 2006, like full-time agent. What else? I service the Charlotte area, as we were discussing before. I would pretty much focus on 3 counties because I like to be an expert and like know what I'm talking about to my clients. So I focus on the Mecklenburg, Gaston, and Cabarrus counties. I sprinkle in some Union County, but I like I love real estate and I love the process of it all. And I'm really excited because I see you guys on YouTube and we work in the same area and we don't really cross paths too much because we're so busy. So it's cool.
That is true. Please, Shawn.
Thank you, sir. Well, first, I want to tell you, thank you, sir, for putting this together. I'm really excited. I think like you, I started watching Ashley first.
What is this?
I know, right? Well, I was actually shooting videos on Facebook initially.
Okay.
And there was nobody doing videos on Facebook. And one of my home inspectors that knows Ashley is doing a lot of business with her.
I know you're Howdy. He's my Howdy guy.
There you go, TJ.
Yeah, I only use one person, so yeah.
Oh, me too. He's a great guy. So TJ one day saw one of my videos and was like, "Hey man, do you know Ashley?" And I was like, "No, who is that?" Look her up on Facebook. So I went on Facebook, saw you. I was like, "Oh man, this is exactly what I do. Let me create a YouTube channel." And there it went, right? So very happy to be here with both of you, man. Great deal of respect for both of you guys and what you guys are doing in real estate. I mean, it's just incredible to see, man. So I got in real estate back in 2017, broker owner of Main City House Hunters here in Charlotte. I am a Charlotte native as well.
What?
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Rare. My husband is a native, and like y'all
get out of here, is he?
Yeah, I'm not from here.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Man, I didn't know Reggie was from Charlotte. But man, I'll have to call him that again. So Reggie and I actually did a deal together, guys, out there watching. And we never met. We talked on the phone quite a bit, text messages back and forth. Had a great home they had listed. And my client that I found on YouTube, as a matter of fact, actually bought their home. But I love real estate. I typically focus also on 4 counties, but I'm a free agent. I'll go anywhere that you guys want me to go. But mostly, mostly Mecklenburg County, Cabarrus County. I do sell quite a bit in Union County as well. Waxhaw and Indian Trail, some parts of it, Monroe.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, Ashley, I'll get out there and go get it.
I hear you. I mean, Sir goes all the way to South Carolina.
Oh, I know he does.
That's the wild west of real estate.
I ran into Sir way out. He was driving his new Tesla that he got. We were way out, man. I think like way deep in Monroe at a Century Homes community.
Yeah.
And I hadn't met him before, right?
Weddington.
Anyway,
it was
he
Weddington
past me. And I think we both look like, hey, I know you.
Right? That's how you get like the YouTuber pass. I saw Sir out at a neighborhood.
Oh man.
I guess it was like
It was
South
Ridgewater.
Charlotte somewhere.
It was Ridgewater.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, like
nice.
so,
Nice. So yeah,
cool.
so I mean, I love real estate. I've got a small group of agents that work at the firm as well. They're all pretty amazing people. And we just love what we do. I mean, I think our purpose is just to serve. Like we want to help people, help them get what they need. My business, I didn't design it this way, but my business has really, and probably because of YouTube, you know, mostly, you know, well, not mostly, but a lot of relocating people that are moving to Charlotte. I'm sure you guys probably see the same thing. A lot of first-time home buyers, a lot of first-time sellers that bought back in, you know, 2018. I'm sure we'll probably talk about how the market, you know, shifted, but a lot of these folks bought in 2018 and all of a sudden have more equity and money than they'd ever seen in their lives. And they're calling me up, Shawn, oh my God, I got to sell right now. I'm like, wait a minute, you just moved in.
Yeah.
A lot of those. We were counting down the 365, like waiting for that very last day, and we closed on 366. Yeah,
exactly.
A lot of that. A lot of
it. So I'm not going to take all the time up talking about myself, but thank you for allowing me to join tonight. I really appreciate it.
Well, no, I appreciate both of you for being willing to join in. Too oftentimes we hear about crabs in a barrel mentality, but I truly admire both of you, and I know both of you put in a lot of work. And again, I said I started my channel because of Ashley and Shawn. I've seen you on the trail. I've run into you multiple times.
That's
and
right.
Just the sheer fact that we had a brief conversation last week, and almost needed to want to shed light to other real estate professionals that we're here to serve. We're here to serve others, educate, advise, and to help them make one of the biggest purchases of their lives or sell and make sure them and their family, it's not just one-time transactions, it's a legacy. Them and their family are in a position to thrive moving forward and be in a better place having met me as opposed to not.
That's
so
right.
That's one thing I enjoy about you all. So
can I say one thing, man? Can I jump in and say one thing real quick? I do want to say this, man. Like, you know, we kind of talked about it offline before we came on. You know, the crabs in the barrel, man. Man, it's commendable that you're willing to share your platform with other people here in Charlotte, right? It's almost like, you know, Burger King, Wendy's, and McDonald's said, hey, you know what? We're going to get on and talk about hamburgers together, right? They would never do that, like ever. So for you, man, to be selfless like this, and there's been another time before that you shouted us out back on your page. I remember, and then I saw my alert come up, and I was like, what is this? And I looked, and I was like, man,
alert.
Yeah,
alert?
No, like a YouTube alert.
YouTube alert.
Cool.
That I had to mention. Yeah, he mentioned you too. You maybe didn't see it, but he just mentioned.
Well, I've taken a mental break from.
You have. And I wanted to say it's time to come on back. It's time to
come
we need those extended vlogs.
We
need them.
Those videos are so long. They're like an hour, and I was like, I have to stop talking so much.
You have hour-long videos?
Yeah.
Oh, no. She goes into depth, and that's one thing I love about her. And I know her clients can appreciate it as well.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. Like I'll spend hours on the phone with the lender and stuff, and I'll get comments like, do they know that you're filming this? And they found me on YouTube, so more than likely.
They know it. Right.
And in North Carolina, it's a one-party state, so only one party needs to consent being recorded.
See, I didn't even know that.
Listen, actually, shame on you. What have you been doing?
No, I mean, I used to film these videos where I'm in a car and people would call me and I would have to edit out all of the pertinent information. But a problem that one person is having or running into is oftentimes a problem that someone else is having. Or a question that they're calling me. Because they'll say, Ashley, I live in Raleigh. I just have this quick question. It's the same contract. And I'll be able to answer it, and other people have the same question. So, you know, and when they build the house the wrong way, and you find out on camera, that's a real facial right there. That's my real reaction. Like I really get off camera and probably cry for 5 minutes. So yeah, it's real.
Well, real quick, we have 51 viewers right now, so thank you all for tuning in. If you can hit that like button, leave a comment. We got a lot of love for both Shawn and Ashley in the chat.
Thank you.
Hey man, thank you. Yes.
So I'll jump right into it. I mean, this year has been crazy, but heading into next year, what do you think the Charlotte market in particular, now Charlotte and surrounding, is going to be in your opinion, a buyer's market, a seller's market? What do you foresee? And I have to say Charlotte area because too often people call me and ask about prices and certain things, and I'm like, that's not going to happen in Charlotte. You can't do that in Charlotte.
Right.
You can go 30, 40, 45 minutes outside and get that.
Yes.
You're not going to get it in Charlotte.
I'm so happy you're having those conversations too.
Those are really hard. When people ask those questions, like send me a home that's 200 in Charlotte.
No.
And I'm like, I'm so sorry. That was 2015.
Right.
When the average price was 200.
Right.
And that's just not how it is right now.
It's definitely not at all. I think, for me, just kind of, thinking about the question, I've been meeting with my team and things, kind of talking about what we can expect for 2023. And, I don't think that Charlotte, in particular, in the city limits, okay, I don't think that we're going to see significant price decreases. I mean, you can see it right now. People aren't necessarily dropping their prices. Now, I have been able to negotiate great deals. I wrote an offer last night, as a matter of fact. And the agent emailed me and said, hey, this is way too low. Okay. but I think her client
present it anyway. Present it.
Yeah, I think her client's about to accept it. So, but we've been writing offers. I just been testing them 30,000 below, 40,000 below on existing homes, right? So they're not necessarily dropping their prices, not yet. So to answer your question about what I think is going to happen with buyers and sellers, and I would even say renters, right? I think it's a nobody's market right now, right? They say it's a buyer's market, a seller's market, or it's a renter's market. I don't think it's anybody's market. And I say that because buyers are afraid, of course, of the interest rates, right? They don't want to pay the elevated pricing, for the mortgage. Okay. Well, sellers, their homes are now sitting, homes that we all know great homes would have sold in one day last year, early this year, as a matter of fact, right before the rates went up.
April.
Yeah, right.
April, yes.
Yeah. Some of these homes would have been gone in one day.
With a line coming soon.
Right, with a line, right.
Sight unseen.
Sight unseen. And now 30 days, 40 days, 80 days, 100 days.
Yes.
They're sitting.
And those are tough conversations to have with a seller whose friend may have sold their house February, March, and then April hit. I mean, I know personally I lost a listing because they waited till after Mother's Day to list. And that house just sat there. And I just know that investors bought up the previous 5 houses in that neighborhood, but they were just a couple of months too slow. Wow. So it's definitely shifting. It's definitely shifting. I wouldn't say it's a nobody's market though.
Go ahead. What would you say, Ashley?
So I feel that real estate follows life. So my husband and I, when we first got together, purchased our first house, we were motivated because we were married and we got pregnant. So we couldn't live in our current situation. So regardless of the interest rate, we were looking for the best house that we could afford. So it follows life, people pass away, they get together, they get divorced. We didn't necessarily grow by people out of our house, but COVID kicked us out of our last house because that house became my office, my husband's office, and my children's schoolhouse, and we needed something larger. So I tried not to even focus on price and interest rate too much. I just want them to find the best house that they can afford.
Right.
And I really I'll get someone pre-qualified and I'm like, did you look at your mortgage? And they're saying, no. I was like, look at the mortgage. Are you okay with that? And oftentimes they'll say no. And I'm like, well, tell the lender what you're willing to pay and then come back and then we'll go from there. But I like them to have all of their numbers. But there's a difference in new construction and existing for sure. great deals in new construction, but existing, they're lagging. They're like, sellers are like, no, I want top dollar, period.
So to piggyback on that, going into what I foresee is going into 2023, I think renters will get a reprieve. I think rental prices will come down some with there's just so much construction, apartments and condos going up that rentals are going to come down. And there's going to be more single family homes that are going to be turned into rentals because sellers aren't getting, they're firm. They locked in at a 2-3% interest rate. So they're like, you know what? I'm not going to get this price I want. It's been on the market 60, 90 days. I'm just going to turn it into a rental. And they're going to still cash flow it. So, but the thing is, it's going to drive the rental prices down or even level off a little bit to where we've seen, rentals go up $300, $400, $700 almost in some areas.
Yeah, some of them. I mean, even like Noda and Uptown is like crazy. That whole commutability. I don't think we can say walkability. So commutability.
Walkability, all that. Yeah. All that. Noda. So, so wait, real quick. Do you believe there's a LOSO? I get flack for calling Lower South End LOSO, and people are like, that's not a thing.
So my husband and I lived in South End before it was like right when the light rail opened and before the Publix was there. Okay. And now it's
a little ways, like it's changed.
Yeah, it's like it's changed a lot. So I didn't know there was a lower side because I remember if you went too low, it got bad. So maybe that's LOSO. But Noda used to be like.
I don't believe in any of it. Okay, I'm a charlatan. There was no Noda. There was no LOSO. There was no Valentine.
There was Cherry.
Uptown was downtown. Okay. And I even had somebody from out of state tell me, what are you talking about downtown? It's Uptown. And I was like, yeah, okay. I used to live downtown. Okay. Right on Rogers Ferry, Trade Street. That's downtown. Is what we called it. We rode our bikes downtown. He was like, well, you guys were backwards.
No, I love it.
But I have heard of LOSO though. I have.
Okay.
I have not. I guess because I'm very solo, so I never heard of LOSO. I'm very solo.
So quick tangent. Sorry about that. So renters, I think you're going to get a reprieve. Buyers, it depends, like you said. Resale market, existing homes, and new construction is going to be two different markets as far as if you're a buyer. And we're going to touch into that. Higher end homes, whether it is a resale or new construction, I think that is going to be very much a buyer's market. Because with interest rates and just the sheer price, you're going to have less buyers. And in order to sell your property, sellers are going to have to entice and make it appealing for buyers to choose yours because you're going to be working with a very small pool of people.
Right.
So higher end, I'm talking. What's higher end in Charlotte now?
Now it's like 700. 700. It might be a little bit higher because average is like 5 something now. So
which is ridiculous. Like,
I know. Someone mentioned there's no reasonably priced single family homes. I never sold a property in Union County until COVID. Like ever. And that was a huge change for me. I moved further into Gaston County because that's where you find more land, like what people list the first time they speak with you on the phone, the further out you go. But even those prices are going up.
Today I was out in Gaston County in Dallas. D.R. Horton has a new neighborhood. Right?
We were just talking about
you were just talking about that?
Yeah, I have one closing in there tomorrow. I'm the third house on the left.
Man, get out here. Okay, so I was out there today, and you're right, the lots are larger, right? The neighborhood I thought was beautiful. You're gonna have a swimming pool. And they have lowered their prices, just slightly. I was able to actually my guy was looking at a home at like $295. And just to hear a 2 anything in this area. I'm like, what for a new home? $295. And people think, us charlatans anyway, to us, driving to Gaston County, it's all the so. Oh, I don't want to live in Gastonia. Yeah, we should call it the gas house. I don't want to live out there.
It's still called the gas house.
It's still called the
Is
gas
it?
house. Right. But nowhere. I mean, I live in University. I live close by you, actually. So it took me 25 minutes to get there down 85. I mean, it was not dry fast.
Well, that was before the loop. So when I first moved to Charlotte, I moved to Ballantyne, and my husband was courting me from Mountain Island Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, courting me from Mountain Island Lake. And that was an hour drive because we didn't have the loop.
Oh my God.
So he would have to come get me, take me out, take me back, and then go home.
He really liked you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that is dedication.
Yeah, so it was he was very, very serious about it. But that loop really did open things up because, again, I probably wouldn't have even touched Union County because without that 77 and stuff like that.
No, I
never
too. Yeah, I agree.
So I can say that. So I do a lot in Union County, Monroe, Indian Trail. I just closed one in Indian Trail. Esplanade at Northgate. Excellent community, 55 and older. Taylor Morrison.
Love it.
Yeah, excellent. And they're offering amazing incentives right now as well.
And they're like low key incentives. So like the realtor, like the on-site agent will send us an email like, this is all the things we're giving to you. And I knew there was a shift when we started getting invited to luncheons.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I also knew, and they were like, come and tour this, that's when I knew that the builders were finally getting on the same program with the buyers. Then, a particular builder was given like 5,000, and then they went up to like 15, 20 right when COVID hit. And then they went way down, and now they're way up again, like buying interest rates down and stuff. So you have to have a realtor like one of us that knows what the behind the scenes looks like when it comes to what the builder's trying to do. Because the builder doesn't want to get stuck with a house.
No, they do not. No.
Like
that's the thing. When you talk about best place or opportunities, is homes that have started or about to be completed will be, as a buyer, your best opportunity, because builders don't want to sit on inventory.
Right.
And it's easy for them to reduce prices much easier than a retail seller. Because think about it. They sold that same exact house, we talked about it, for $100,000 less last year. So like, okay, they went down 10, 15,000. They're still making 85,000 more than they did last year on the house.
Right. That's
right.
Exactly. I mean,
I always thought Charlotte was underpriced.
Really?
I really thought. I thought so. I mean, so my husband purchased homes here in Charlotte before, but our first home was 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, almost a 1/4 acre land, 2-car garage. We got it for like $198, closing costs, all that, right? That was 2014 ish. And when we sold the house, we were like, what in the world? Like, we felt bad as realtors, so we actually gave her incentives and stuff. But I always thought it was underpriced because I've been to like LA and Miami and Chicago, Fort Lauderdale, if you want to talk about like not large, even places in Texas. And their prices were always higher than 200. So I felt before COVID happened, like that year going into it, 2019, I felt something was going to happen. No one saw COVID, but I thought financially something was going to happen because, it was a little bit underpriced. Just a tad bit.
That's what I think. It's been historically underpriced and undervalued, the Charlotte area. So people are expecting houses to go back down to 2018, 17 levels. And I just don't see that happening.
No.
Because for the longest time, Charlotte has been undervalued. And now you have this transplant of people coming in and more people coming in daily. It's never going to go back down, just be supply and demand purposes. It's never going to go back down that far.
Right.
It's going to balance. He was mentioning like negotiating contracts on existing properties, houses that were completely like hot commodity last summer. When we came into this summer, it was a little bit slower, and we were able to get things fixed. The seller would fix things.
Closing
so
costs
that
from
was
sellers
cool.
easy, right?
I mean, they're like, hey, we need about $4,500 in repairs, and they did it, you know?
Like,
so, I mean, that was a very good feeling because it was unfair to a lot of buyers. It was not a fun market for buyers.
Not to cut you off, but we got your husband commenting.
Yeah, we do.
I love this link up.
He's hot.
Salute, Reggie. Thank you.
Hey, Reggie, I know, right? Hey, Reggie.
He is also, as you see, an agent here in the Charlotte area. Ashley and Reggie, amazing team, amazing people, amazing realtors. So feel free.
Hold on,
in the description, I'll have both of your contact information in the description as well. So if people want to reach out to you, by all means, do so.
Somebody had a question below, wanted to know where that $295,000 home was.
Yes.
I can actually see it right here too. C-Rock had a question about that. So C-Rock, it's in Dallas, North Carolina, DR Horton Express Homes. It's the Mills at, finish it up, Ashley, because you get ready to close it.
No.
Well, that's a different community. That's
a different one.
So
yeah,
you know,
we're in Spencer Mountain.
I'm going to get that name for Mr. Mills.
So it's literally about 5 minutes away from each other, though. They're both in Dallas. But we were talking about Spencer Mountain Village, DR Horton Express community.
They started that neighborhood back in like 2019, and then they started expanding it with a new phase this past, like 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah. And
that community also has a pool, nice sized lots. My client got in for under 3 with incentives, washer, dryer, refrigerator, blinds.
When did you go into contract?
Closing costs.
You get blinds right now, man.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I got washer, dryer, refrigerator the other day, like blinds. I'm like, come on, keep it coming.
I know, right? It's not even.
I'm like, and now at this point, you're like, is that all you're gonna give? Because I'm gonna call this other builder.
Right.
Will you buy them? So I had a lady that wanted to cancel her contract, and this one builder, they gave her money, they lowered the price. They locked it. They paid for her rate lock. They paid for her last 2 months of rent because she had to renew her lease because the house wasn't ready, and she still terminated. But the fact that they were going to give her that much stuff, yeah, because regardless of that, she has to live with the mortgage. And I always tell people it's not just your bills today. It's like, do you want to travel? Do you want to go somewhere? You want to be stuck in your house? Me, I can quilt all day. I could be stuck here, but other people can't do that.
That's true. let me tell C-Rock the neighborhood real quick, guys. C-Rock, it's the Mills at Long Creek by Express Home. Okay? The Mills at Long Creek. But yes, to your point, Ashley, I had a client that was closing. She closed last week. This particular builder sounds like the same one. Gave her blinds, washer, dryer, found a refrigerator from somewhere, gave it to her. And then we were short on closing costs. So I called up and said, listen, we need some money, right? He said, well, how much you need? Can we get 4%? 4%? Yeah, we want 4% closing costs. So we, a little over $20,000.
Let me see.
Bought the rate down, and she was like, "Oh my God, this is crazy." And I was like, "See, this is why you buy now."
Right. And people are scared of that. And your story today is going to be different than the story that your friend had last year.
Right.
Because the story your friend had last year, they did multiple offers, over asking. Yes. They prayed nothing was wrong with the house, which is why I leaned heavily on new construction. You want to pray that it closes on time. So lots of prayer, lots of prayer. But right now, it's a little bit more new construction wise in the buyer's advantage. It's better. I mean, I feel more comfortable practicing in this environment than the stress, because everybody was stressed out.
Everybody was stressed out. Nobody.
I got gray hairs. I had a diet.
I believe it. Waiting lists, long lines. I mean, even on new construction, when new construction started taking offers, I was
lotteries.
Lotteries. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what
neighborhood in Weddington had the line out front when they were releasing those 5 lots? Do you remember?
I do.
I had a client drive down from New York, and they were number 6 in a 5 lot release.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember some Empire communities.
Empire, yeah. I was
outside, people camping outside and everything like that.
Sleeping outside. Listen,
Yes.
man, I went out there. There was a 16-year-old kid out in Belmont. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you out here? And he was like, yeah, somebody paid me to just sit here and wait. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is what we're doing. So
yeah, and I had no idea they were going that way. So when the
Yeah.
on-site agent emailed me and said there's going to be a line that forms, I emailed her back like, what do you mean?
What do
Like,
you mean?
we're going to come and get a ticket and then you're going to call us later.
Mhm.
I remember having two computers open when, I guess it was Pulte. Pulte released something on a lottery and I had two computers open like this.
It was here on Creek or something like that. It was awful.
Man.
Yeah, Harrier
Pulte
Creek was terrible.
that was
Yeah.
awful when that first came out. But a couple questions we want to get into. Have you seen the earnest money deposit decrease? And
Yes.
I'll answer that yes.
Mhm.
You can get away with a couple $1,000.
$1,500, $500 earnest, and 1,000 due diligence.
Yeah, for new builders, new construction. For resale homes, yes, $500.
TriPoint hasn't changed lately, though.
Right.
Yeah.
TriPoint is on something.
They've been on something since they came in this market.
Let me tell you this real quick. Here's a neighborhood. Ashley, you did a video out here recently at this neighborhood. Okay, I won't say the builder's name. Well, I don't want to say the builder's name because I'm going to
give me the letter.
I know you're talking
Steel Creek. I'll put it that way. Steel Creek. Oh, okay, Ashley, you live in one of their homes. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Okay. So
they're the worst now. They were good when we went under contract.
Well, let me tell you this here, man. Listen, I don't want to say anybody's desperate as far as a builder, right? But they wanted an earnest money deposit from my clients. Okay, they would be closing on Friday. Wanted an earnest money deposit of $35,000. Okay. My client told me to call them and said, "Hey, we'll give them 10,000." Okay. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Wait, you'll give them 10,000?" Okay, I'll call them. Called them up. They'll give you 10,000. 10,000, 10,000. Called me back and said, "Okay, we'll take the 10,000." My client sent 1,000. Okay.
Forgot a zero.
They called me and said, "Hey, Shawn, where's the rest of the money? Like, what happened?" And I was like, "Well, have you tried to call them?" "Yeah, we did." And they told me to call you. I was like, "What?" "Oh, me." I said, "Okay." So I called them up and said, "Listen, we'll give them $5,000. They can take it or leave it. We'll go to another neighborhood where we like them." Called them back.
You gotta play ball.
$5,000. Yep, is what they'll give. And they said, "You know what? We'll take it. We'll take it. It's going to be closing this month."
That same community.
Yep.
My client,
not the one I live in, the same builder.
Yeah,
same builder.
Same
builder.
builder.
Oh, okay.
Sean's talking about.
Yep.
We were under contract, and we were able to get the price reduced $30,000 after being under contract.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
Because the thing is like you go under contract and the builder will start lowering the price. Like I saw that in one of the neighborhoods down in Steel Creek, also different builder. They started lowering prices, and that started messing up people's appraisals.
Yep.
And so they had to take that into consideration, or they would have yet another house in their inventory. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, they are definitely doing that.
Don't ever close an account.
Oh, you read that?
Sorry, I'm sorry. The question is, I don't quite understand this, so maybe you all do. Is it true that a person can have too much available credit? If so, that they'll be asked to close some accounts? Yeah, no, I would say
it's credit usage.
Yeah,
don't close the account.
Don't close the account. And true story myself. I recently paid something off, and my credit took a hit because the account closed. So don't close accounts. It shows good history that you're a good steward of your money. By keeping it open, even if it is a small balance, keep paying it. That's all.
You know, since we're talking about credit too, guys, I'll just say this real quick as just a little personal note, man. For all those folks that are going to watch this video, don't be afraid to like get your work on your credit. Okay, it may look abysmal to you, right? I will tell you, I came personally. Okay, now it wasn't because I had bad habits. I just didn't have any credit because I owned a business prior to real estate, I paid cash for everything. So my credit scores are like in the 500s. But I called somebody that my sister referred me to, had him help me, tell me what to do with my credit. Now, it took some time, but over time, my scores eventually got to the 800. I bought 3 homes in the last 2 years.
And like 4 cars.
No.
4 cars? You and my husband should meet.
Wait a minute.
That dude.
I bought 2, 3, 5. But no, not like that though. I bought 2. I traded in a car. My wife had to have a car. Okay, another car. My mom needed a car.
That's what I told my husband. I need a car.
Oh man, my daughter's laughing. She must be watching. She was like 4 cars. Oh, you better get in trouble, sir. What are you doing?
My fault.
Oh man, that is hilarious, man.
So do you guys have like a favorite builder? Like when someone calls you, like you have a builder that just sticks out and shines in your brain first?
It depends on the price point. It truly
definitely depends on the price.
Well, like an average house, like say they're they're looking in 480 to 500. Like if I said that, then you would a builder pops in my head immediately.
Oh,
like
mine too. So for me, Mattamy pops into my head.
Really?
Yeah, it does. Yep. It does.
To me, reason why Mattamy pops into my head is I know you all go around and check your houses as well weekly. Right?
Yes, every 7 to 10 days.
Of all of my homes, consistently, every home's going to have some issues here and there.
Right.
But Mattamy of cross communities has been the most consistent as far as quality goes.
Right.
As far as attention to detail, Mattamy is above the rest. Now, their finishes might not be as flashy.
Right.
Okay.
But as far as just a quality home in that price point, the average price point. Now, aside from Brayburn, some of their communities aren't in the best areas as far as school-wise. But
people should like really not lean on schools though in Charlotte. Anyway,
because none of them are good.
Not even that. They change the school line all the time. They change.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they really do.
And we have the we're not in control of this, and I'm a big proponent, yeah.
Proponent, yeah. Opponent.
I don't know. I really like magnet charter type of schools. I really like that. It's public, but still like that.
And with me, Charlotte, I love school choice too. So
right, you do have school choice, exactly. Let me tell you why I like Mattamy. Okay, so Mattamy won me over. They won me over with my own home that I'm sitting in right now. Okay, so when we were doing our final walkthrough, I'm not sure how. Well, I know how we missed it because we never walked through barefoot. Okay, or with socks while they were building. Yeah. So the day before we closed, I went into what's now my daughter's room with no shoes on. I'm just walking the floor, seeing what I feel, right? And there was a huge hump in my floor. And I was like, what in the heck is this? Well, anyway, when I say that they were here the very next day, they completely ripped out the flooring system, completely, and redid her entire room. Now, I've had this happen with Mattamy and other homes, but I like them because they don't give me an excuse, right? If I find an issue, they fix it. Like, they don't complain, or it should be like this. Oh, we get this variance, or we got this tolerance. Like you
that tolerance.
Oh, we got this tolerance, right?
And do you know how many times I've had like they will honey me? You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I don't care about your tolerance.
You've been working in real estate longer than most of the builders right now.
Right, exactly.
Right. Like and like my dad used to, like, he was in construction. So I really know what I'm looking at. And when people talk to me, I'm like, no, you got to fix this. When I think of like a builder, I really like mid-block homes.
So I like them. They just don't make enough.
They don't make enough, but I love.
Well, they have like 3 or 4. They're a small builder, but you can really customize it. Like their design center is like 4 to 8 hours. It's I built with them like 3 times, and I built with Mattamy and stuff. I never had any issues with them. It's just that I just like the customer service.
Right.
It's sort of like going to Hendrick Chrysler versus Hendrick Porsche. I feel like that, and you're still you're still in that like $400 to $500 price range.
You typically work with Mark when you go to Niblock. Mark Burslap.
No, I work
really
with the lady. Is
it Jackie?
I don't even know what was her name.
I have to shout out a couple people real quick. Danny, Real Estate with Danny. Thank you for the super chat. Danny's a team member of mine. Please,
nice.
If you have any questions, he is subscribe to his channel. He's amazing. He can definitely help you out as well. Lee, thank you for the super chat. And I see
what is a super chat? You're teaching
super
me
chat.
stuff.
They're giving him money,
giving tips.
What?
I can see
it. Tips.
Ashley, I can see it. Ashley, yeah. Lee.
I know it. I thought that was an ad that popped up. See, I don't do. See.
No. We got Lee. We got just here.
He's got another $10.
Yeah. So thank you all. Want to shout y'all out real quick. I appreciate you, and we do this for you all. So if there's something, I know we may not be able to touch on every question in the chat. I know I told him I'd only be having him for an hour. We're pushing 40 minutes right now, so you let me know when you all have to leave.
I'm good. My camera might get hot though.
No, look, my wife and daughter went out of town for 2 days this morning, so I'm home alone. We can talk all night.
I'm with it.
I can't. I don't know. Well, actually, I have like all of my crochet plans. I gotta pull my yarn.
Lord, really?
Is that what you were printing when you first started?
Yes, I wasn't printing out contracts. I was printing out crochet patterns.
I was wondering what was going on. Okay.
I got my vow dress.
Zohar wants to know 350 to 450. So Zohar, so in the Charlotte area, okay, I think for new construction, if you want to talk about that, I think True Homes right now, townhome only though, you could probably get a new townhome with True Homes in the 350.
So I know Ozahar. I know him well.
Oh, you know Ozahar, okay.
Yeah, I know Ozahar. He does not want a townhome. He wants single family.
Okay, well then.
What about that new neighborhood off of Sugar Creek? The DR Horton neighborhood off Sugar Creek?
Sold out.
Something's going to fall out.
You're talking about the enclave of Sugar Creek, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it only has 70 homes, I think, over there, actually, 50 or 70 homes. So
they built on the back of my old neighborhood. And
you
everybody
live right there. Okay. Yep. So I think they're done. But Mattamy Homes, I think, would definitely be your best bet. Sir, I mean, he's your client, so I'm sure you.
No, I say Mattamy is probably the best in the Charlotte area.
Y'all just love Mattamy. That is so funny.
There's DR Horton out in Nolan Farms. There's a DR Horton out there, and
what is that beside Nolan Farms? There's DR and Meritage is right there also.
And Meritage,
but that's not Charlotte.
It's not Charlotte.
Wait a minute, hold on. Does Ozahar like Nolan Farms? Because I've got a listing out there just signed today.
What are we talking about?
Hey, look, the house is basically brand new.
It is because
it moved in 6 months ago. 2,600 square feet, 4 bedrooms.
What?
Yeah, and
so all the warranties are still in place
all
too.
All the warranties are in place.
Every warranty.
Yeah, every single 1 year.
Back in June, and they called me Friday and said, "Hey, listen, there's a new DR Horton community in Mount Holly, closer to our parents. We want to buy there." So I got them a Wilmington at a discount at $399.
Wilmington's big too.
Yeah, that's like
it is. Yep. Got them a Wilmington for $399 for the extended Black Friday sale. So
they're going to extend that again. It's going to be
a New Year's sale.
It's going to be an MLK sale, then a Valentine's Day sale.
Hey, let's get them all. So if you two have a buyer, Ozahar, I've got a house.
Send me the information.
Done.
I'm dusting everything off. I took my 3 months hiatus.
Yes, I will definitely.
So that is real though. You have to take a break because I took a break for about 6-7 weeks there. And people were messaging me like, "Are you okay?
Are you still alive?"
Yes, I'm here. Like, they don't realize like we actually produce in the field, right? So we do this, and then on top of crocheting, you do YouTube as well.
And I have 2 kids. I have a 7 and a 5-year-old.
Right.
So is my camera what?
I just went down a little
It
bit.
just dropped down. And while Ashley fixes that, listen, I absolutely, positively have to say hello to Mrs. Harold that is watching.
Where we at here?
Yeah, she's down there. She just commented, man, she is the absolute best. I call her mom number 2.
Yes.
Yeah, she actually bought a home out in Nolan Farms.
Okay.
And look, she's telling us the lady's name at Niblock.
Well, I use Diana. I think it was Diana.
Okay.
Diana
yes,
White.
Mrs. Harold and her husband bought out there in Nolan Farms as well, too, man. Beautiful home. So, hey, Mrs. Harold, how you doing? I just want to say hello to you. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, it's okay.
Your opinions on Smith Douglas?
I like them too.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah.
And so they're another builder that just doesn't have enough inventory.
Communities, right? Boom.
No community.
But I like that because if that means they're focused on it, and when the supply chain shortage happened, they were able to pivot a lot better.
Right.
They were like, their pivot was nice. I know that other builders struggled with that. I was waiting on one window for like 2 months up here in like Davidson. I was like, a window, can we just change the elevation and take the window out? And we couldn't, but it was yeah. And I had to take a break. That I entered this year with 22 files, and I don't have a team or an assistant. So
wait, do you have a transaction coordinator?
No, because I'm very type A.
Me too.
I'm an analog paper planner. So I'm very organized when it comes to that, but my normal range is about 4 to 5 active files. I can't do 22, but things didn't close because of the supply chain and everything and delays.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on. 4 to 5 active files only? Is that what you're saying? You just
I mean, I feel comfortable with 4 to 5, but I had 22 last January.
Oh my God. Boy, you can pull your hair out, man. I
was working at Disney. I bought this little iPad just so I could carry it to Disney, like teacups.
Okay.
That's not fun.
Man, I had 50 under contract back like in June, July. And I remember one of my buddies said, man, like, how are you doing that? It's like, you don't have an assistant, you don't have a team, like you just, but you know what? That's why I like new construction though. Like with new construction, we can do what we talk about. I can go visit those homes, once a week.
But we had a lot of issues though. New construction right now is not the same as new construction because I had people relocating here, and I had an Arizona couple move here. They never saw their house until the day before closing. It was all video.
Wow.
All video.
That is common.
Yeah, it is.
That's very stressful because they don't like it.
Right.
Like they already bought it. They got it. So it was a lot. It was a lot of stress. So I had to take a break. I crocheted a lot.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was out actually when Ashley called me the other day, Christmas Eve. I was out filming.
Sir Ashley, not this Ashley.
Sir Ashley. You're right. Yeah. Sir Ashley. Yeah. I was out Christmas Eve filming a home for a guy in Ohio. Like they have a beautiful home with MI Homes. That's another one of my favorite builders.
I like MI
Homes. I like MI Homes.
So we're out in Waxhaw at Ring Creek, beautiful home. And I'm out there filming this home for him. They have never seen it. Okay. Like he came here for the pre-drywall. That was it. Did he come? No, I videoed him.
Yeah, I videoed.
Yeah.
He signed it off.
That is common.
Yeah.
Man. So like they're going to be closing in January, and I'm praying that they love it when they get here. I'm like,
David Semper is talking about good schools.
Okay.
Okay. So I have kids in elementary school. The way I look at it is good is at the eye of the beholder, and it depends on your child. So what is good for my husband and I may not be good for other parents.
Right. That's right.
But I'm also at my children's school every Wednesday, like 9 to 1 volunteering, because I need to be active. So if a school is like, you can't come, I'm not going to send my kids to that school.
Right.
But it depends on what your child wants, and the ratings on the websites that you see is an average. And it doesn't necessarily include like the IB programs that students can test into. So doing research, if you're concerned about something, you see us on YouTube, Google the school on YouTube. A lot of people put activities and events, and so you can see what things look like. But I don't know what good schools are to people because those are other student scores. What is your student going to score, and how are you going to support your student? So that's just how I see it.
So,
but
as a parent as well, I moved.
I know you had little ones.
Yeah, 8-year-old and a 3-year-old. Yeah.
Oh, you don't get no sleep.
Pray for me.
Look how he look. He like proud daddy.
The 3-year-old's giving me a run for my money. I'm not gonna lie. But so we actually just moved to this year moved to TGK because of the good schools in TGK. More so, I like the teacher to student ratio, and I look at being perfectly honest, the diversity of the staff.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I said Google the school. I can't say that. You know what we can say these days. You don't know what we can say.
I like to walk that line. So that's what I look at.
Okay.
When I'm looking at schools, yes, you can find some quote unquote good schools up north, Huntersville. You can find some. If you're just looking at sheer numbers wise, Union County has the second best school district in North Carolina.
One of the principals lives right beside of me for Union County. But I don't think his kids go to school in Union.
Really?
Yeah. So second best schools in North Carolina behind Wake County is in Union County, and then York County, South Carolina has its top 4% schools in the country, and that's right on the border.
They're right on the border.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where definitely, as Ashley said, do your due diligence, check. Don't just go by the ratings. Google or YouTube the school, see if it meets your standard.
Right. My philosophy is more like Ashley's too, though. My daughter, my I'm not gonna say how old she is, so people don't try to guess what school she goes to, but she goes to school here in the north, and we were concerned, about the school, but we also know our daughter. We understand our parenting, techniques, and she's actually a year ahead in the 10th grade. She'd been in 9th grade, year ahead, but also in advanced classes.
Right.
So she's very smart. So, but that came from home, though. It didn't come from the school or anything like that. So, me personally, I know people get caught up on the schools and what they look like and things like that. For us, we never made it a big deal. We said we're going to really do what we need to do at home. To make sure that she's getting what she needs so that she can be the best student at whatever school that she's going to. And it worked for us. I mean, we got two beautiful daughters that are doing really well. So
I got to talk to you. I know you got 2 daughters. I got to pick your brain because that's where I am.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in trouble, sir. I can tell you that right
I have
now.
a girl and a boy. So my boy is my is the baby, and he's definitely
right
a boy.
And
jumping off the stuff.
Before we move forward, I want to go back to my original point, okay?
Yeah.
And it was the first question that was asked, okay? Where do we see the market in 2023? And I said that I see it as a nobody market, right? And Ashley jumped out of your chair when I said that.
Yeah.
And I saw
the camera fell down.
Sir went down when I said that, right?
Yeah.
I just want to tell the people out there what I mean by that, okay? It's almost like a double-edged sword, okay? If you're a seller, then you've got to negotiate, right? You're going to have to be a little bit more flexible than you were. We were in a real seller's market before the market shifted, right? Buyers just had to get in where they could fit in, right? You're going to get outbid, or you're going to pay so much more over than what you wanted to, that it's going to be uncomfortable for you and me telling you to do that, right?
Right.
So that was a real seller's market, right? Well, we're kind of shifting into a buyer's market, but the interest rates went up, right? So now buyers, we still have buyers, right? We're all still doing business, but probably not as frequently or as much as we were doing, right? I could tell that my phone calls are still great, but there's, but I don't have people that I'm missing that I couldn't even call because I was just so busy. Now I can kind of get to the people that are calling, me or somebody, at the firm can do it. Before it was just like, man, you bought a house. oh my God, I never even called you. I'm sorry. Like I just forgot all about you. Not on purpose, folks. But I think that you got a double-edged sword. If you're a buyer, you can get a really good deal, right? But you just got a little bit more for the mortgage payment right now, right? The great news is that if the rates do come back down, okay, you can refinance, hopefully, right? If you pay your payments on time, keep your credit good, all those things, refinance, get that better rate, lower your mortgage payment. Okay, I owned a home for 20 years. I refinanced that thing a few times from a $1,400 by the time I was done down to $900. Okay, and then had a ton of equity and sold that house. But so there are things you can
smiling. You can't say that. Smiling.
Yeah, it was
Man.
fun. Yeah, but so that's what I meant by like a nobody's market, right? Everybody in this market right now is going to have to compromise if you're going to buy a home, right? Sellers giving up a little bit here to get your home sold, to get to that next home you're trying to buy, where you may have, I've got a seller right now, and I told her just yesterday, listen, you're going to have to give up some on your home, but on the flip side, we're getting ready to tear that other seller up, right? We're going to go get you a great deal on that home.
Yeah.
So you're going to lose a little here, gain some here. It's going to equal out at some point, right? So buyers just have to, like you said earlier, Ashley, they've got to determine what their budget is, what their goal is, right? What is your goal? It's not the interest rate. You don't get married to that. You get married to that house because of space, your needs, your wants, all of the school you wanted to go to, right? You go buy that home as long as you can afford it. And then you wait, and hopefully the market does shift back down with the rates. And then you refinance, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'll say one last thing as I'm talking. One last thing. If you go back, this is for my folks that they're watching. If you go back and you look at interest rates over the last 30 years, right?
Yep.
We were at 18% interest rates.
Well, I don't know back then, not 30.
Well, yeah. So no, you know what? Actually, I actually did some research for a client.
It was in the 80s.
I know it was really high.
Yeah, it was 18%.
17, 18, and 81, 82. Yep.
Yeah, there you got it. Yeah, so it's 18%, right? So we are still, even at where we are at 6, we're still incredibly low for interest. As a matter of fact, you can go back and look at this too. Interest rates actually didn't drop below 7% for the first time in that 30-year span until 2000. It was 7 or 8. Actually, you may have.
Yeah.
That was the first time.
When I first got in real estate, the interest rates were really high.
Yeah.
And then they dropped down to like 5, and that was like a big deal.
Right. It was a big deal. When I bought my first home in 1999, I remember my lender called me and he said, "Oh my God, man, you got to lock in today. Rates just dropped down to like 6.5%." And I ran and locked that rate in at 6.5%. Now I'm running around jumping for joy, right? And now people are like, "Oh my God, 6.5%! Like I'm gonna die. This is crazy." It's not really crazy, right?
So with 6.5 right now, there's strategies. That's why you need to work with a professional and have a team working with you and for you. Because when we go make that offer to the seller, we're going to ask for seller credits and seller concessions to buy down your rate, either temporarily. I prefer the long term, the fixed buy down, but to buy down your rate to where the going rate may be 6.5. But because of your credits you're getting from the seller, you're able to get in at under 5. And it's not out of your pocket. So again, plan accordingly, make sure it fits your budget and that you're comfortable with it. But knowing, like, we hope you can refinance later, but I want you perfectly comfortable with that payment today.
Right. Because we can't promise, like, we didn't know this was going to happen. Like that week in April, I had 5 people approved. And we were already having a hard time finding them houses in that price range and in the area they wanted. And when the interest rates went up, only one person made it and closed. Wow. The other 4 were priced out because they were already on that cusp. They were already there. So, and that's another thing with new construction as well. We didn't really think to lock in our rates that far ahead. And so when that happened, a lot of homes came back on the market. I received an internal email from one builder where they were gifted 22 homes. That's how they worded it. I sold one of them, but they said, we were gifted 22 homes, back to our inventory. Please
that's what they
sell
call
them. Gifting.
That's
Gifting.
what we're saying. Just gifting
No,
back.
gifting
Did they gift back that earnest money deposit?
Probably not.
Well, I mean, if they're no longer approved, it's how you word it. So I
Right.
always tell my clients, like, don't get emotional. Don't call the builder and say, I want to terminate. I need to call and I need to tell them that you're no longer approved. That's the word. You're no longer approved to buy the house. It's all in the. I get your money back if you stay in line a little bit. So
That's right.
That's the thing. Keep them on the straight and narrow.
I try.
Guy wants to know how you guys feel about Eastwood Homes. I actually like Eastwood Homes.
Real quick, if you got 90 people in the video right now, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
Feel free, please leave hit that like button, leave a comment. We're here to answer some questions for you. We're going at an hour. We're going to go about maybe 10, 15 more minutes, and then let you all go on with your evening. And we're going to have to do this again because I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Definitely. I've enjoyed it.
Eastwood.
Yep, Eastwood. Yep. I like Eastwood Homes. I like them a lot, actually. Don't see enough of their communities, Guy, but they've got a great one out in Harrisburg. I love it out there, Harrisburg Village. Townhomes, single family homes, and they got some great deals right now too because I think they're selling. So, yeah. So yes.
I'm gonna have to figure out this super chat thing.
I know.
So we just got to find out a super chat from Asia. Before going to your question, Asia, Guy, yes, Eastwood Homes. I love them as a builder too. Again, they don't have enough communities in this area of the country, in the Charlotte region, but Marabella, top notch in Huntersville. You have Harrisburg Village. You have a couple.
Marabella has switched hands so many times, though.
It has.
Like that's the fourth builder in that neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah, and they're also in Wren Creek. They have beautiful floor plans. I have a video of the Charleston floor plan, which if I could pick that up and bring it to where I am right now, I would move into it in a heartbeat.
You're moving.
I would
3-car garage?
3-car garage, yes.
No, I love it.
Man, the 3-car garage was hard to find.
They weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
We had to have a 3-car garage for my husband's habits. So
his habits. Oh Lord. His cars.
Cars.
I'm telling you. I got you. I was like, my car will not sit outside. We have to find something for you. So
So you actually park your car in the garage?
Yes, I do.
You are very rare.
We use our garages for cars.
Yeah. So I have a 3-car garage, and none of them. There's no car in the garage.
Well, how do you charge your Tesla?
It's just I pull the cord underneath the garage door.
Oh man, no! You're not that person.
I don't know. I mean, wow.
No, I park.
Is it like a home gym or something? Is it your gym?
Yeah.
It's too cold though to work out right now.
But it's a Meritage home, so you got the spray foam.
It's insulated real good. Yeah. Okay,
it works,
I got you. No, I park in the garage. Mine is a gym. I park in the garage so I can charge my car at night. And I pull out in the morning so I can work out. But I've got a gym in there too, Ashley. So
nice.
So our gym is we have a basement, and so we have all his weights and punching bags for boxing, and my bike is down there. So that punching bag came in good during COVID.
Where you live, you do have a basement, don't you?
Yeah, we got a finished basement.
Oh man, you got a beautiful home.
We got a good deal though. We got in right before. Oh yes, we got in before the lottery and before lumber prices went up.
Okay,
so our basement was technically free.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a client miss out in your community with that lottery. Really
right behind us.
Missed out on them.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That one lot went for $70,000. The lot, just the dirt, and it was the dirt. And I was like, that's ridiculous.
And my client was like, that's out of our budget. No, we can't do it now. So
can you believe what Toll Brothers was doing out in Steel Creek and Palisades with those lots? $100,000 for just a lot. 150,000. I'm like, what? It's like,
when Walden Farms started selling $1 million, when they started selling $1 million houses, I was confused.
Yep. So, in Huntersville. Yeah.
Yes. Real quick, Toll Brothers. I'm going to get to your question, Asia. Toll Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Griffith Lakes.
Oh,
Yeah, the new one.
That
I'm moving over
community.
there.
If you are in the chat watching,
Yep.
please reach out to one of us if you are interested in living in North Charlotte. Toll Brothers
That's going to
has
be nice.
single family homes and townhouses.
Townhomes.
It's going to be an amazing community. I think it's
Waterfront.
like 500 plus homes, waterfront.
Mm-hmm.
And Toll Brothers,
Yep.
their name speaks for themselves. They're typically a luxury builder. But these homes, the townhomes, are starting in the mid threes, low to mid threes.
Yeah.
And then the single family is starting in the fives.
Right.
Excellent opportunity.
Yep.
It
I'll be your neighbor, because I'll be your neighbor, whoever's out there, because that's where we're moving there next.
Are you?
Oh, as soon as they release those waterfronts, listen, I can't afford to live at Lake Wiley, Lake Norman yet, okay? But I can.
You gotta find different water. Like people don't want to live Lake Norman. Just go across the water. It's the same water over there in Denver.
But you know what? I've lived in North Charlotte for probably 25 years, so I like this area. And Griffith Lakes is right down the street. So I mean, you got a Chick-fil-A across the street. Like
Chick-fil-A has everything right there.
Lake Mall down the street.
Literally.
You got 45. Is that 45?
Yeah, well, you got 85.
It's 45 and 77. You can get to both.
77, all of them.
Yeah.
Right, you got them all right there.
And everybody delivers to that area. So you get like Publix delivery, Instacart, everything. Because that came in handy. I didn't know that they delivered wine during COVID. And people in Mooresville.
Ashley crochet and drink some wine.
Drink some wine.
I'm an old lady. But
that's hilarious.
People in Mooresville, they didn't have that luxury of having the Instacart type of stuff. So that's something that you do get closer to the city.
I would say since COVID, like I've realized like how fortunate we have it to where I don't like order groceries, gets delivered to the house. Like, it's just a beautiful thing. Thank God for technology and advancements. Because it really is a wonderful thing. Actually,
I've probably been in the grocery store like 4 times since 2020. Everything.
I live at the grocery store. I love going.
No, I had to get together a couple days ago, and I wanted to make some mimosas. I didn't have any orange juice, so I just got on there. Orange juice got delivered in 30 minutes. Yeah, it was a beautiful thing.
Get out of here, man.
Yes, it is nice. It is nice. It's very spoiling. It's
Man, listen, I love going to Harris Teeter. Love it.
Any builders or new communities in the River District near Catawba River and the airport? What do you all?
I mean, there's builders there, and there's different price ranges. I know that there's one builder. I don't really deal with them though anymore. They're out there.
There's Meritage out there.
Meritage is out there. D.R. Horton is out there.
You have
you got the new True Homes neighborhood out there.
Out there.
You said True Homes is out there. That's right. Yeah, so they're good.
True Homes. There's some townhouses out there. You have. I'm trying to think.
And I make that face because it's the construction of the home that makes me angry. Like if the floor is creaking on closing day, come on, man. Fix it. So
I'm with you. And that's why, again, you need a professional, even if it is new construction, to go with you, because certain things you might think is normal, or they may tell you, you know what, that's too cold. It's supposed to be that way. No, you need somebody experienced to walk through it with you, to guide you and advise you. And that's why I have these 2 people on here, because they are, in my opinion, some of the best professionals here in Charlotte.
Thank you, man.
So I definitely enjoy them and their company. We have one tip I have for people buying now. If you're wanting to buy now, do not think it's going to be a short-term investment. You're not going to be the people that bought in 2018 and selling now, wanting to sell now. You're not going to be in that market, right? And have that equity.
True.
Buy and plan on holding on to it for at least 7 years, whether living in it or renting it out after you move.
That's always been the rule, though. That this quick stuff that happened, that was not a good thing, because real estate is a long-term investment.
And then when you have millennials, I'm one part of the millennial generation. Millennials come in and we see people buying and getting that quick money real quick. We think that's just how it's supposed to be.
Right.
No. you got to set expectations to where you're buying and you're planning on holding it for, because you might see some dips. Actually, I had somebody close in May, a home, and they're like, well, they're selling homes less than what I bought mine for now. And I messaged them back. I'm like, do you plan on selling?
That is
like,
true.
Do you plan on, like, you just bought, live in it, enjoy it, and over time, you know, month after month, it may go up or down.
Right.
Even after a couple years, it may go up or down. But historically, the trajectory of real estate goes up. So hold it. You buy real estate and wait, as opposed to wait and buy real estate. So
one thing I'll interject right here too, man. And again, this is just a kudos to you both. Okay. I personally believe in building wealth. Okay. And Ashley, you said it a moment ago, right? Real estate is one of those tools. Ashley, I know you invest as well. But something you just said a second ago is something that I tell my clients, right? You know, most people think as real estate agents, man, we're greedy, we're money hungry, we're just trying to get a sale. Like, in some circles, we get a bad rap, right? But I tell my sellers, like, if you don't have to sell, don't sell. Let's see if we can get you approved and you keep your home. This is your first investment property, right? Is the way you should look at this. Now, if you have to sell, do it. But most agents won't tell their clients that.
Right.
They're trying to get the commission off the sell of that house and the new home as well, right? So, again, I'm honored to be on this panel with you two, because you just showed me that you actually care about your clients. And I appreciate that. I do. That's awesome. I'm gonna give you both a hand clap right there. That's amazing.
Sir, putting this together.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you all for no hesitation. I reached out to both of you. No hesitation whatsoever. You're like, let me know what time. And
and you mentioned like the crabs in the bucket thing. There's no way that Sir can do all the business everywhere and I can do all the business, or Shawn. There's just no way one person can do everything, but we do pass each other, you know, like Shawn and my husband, not I, did a deal together. So it's like we do know each other, and
that's right.
I guess like the history we have in the area, it is respected amongst realtors. So like it's a little bit easier for people to work with us because of that. So I really do like that.
Me too. Me too.
But the Tesla outside, we gotta.
So Tesla outside, you can, when I need to warm it up, you know, you just go to the app, turn it on, and you're good to go. Good to go. This morning, actually, my windows were frozen.
We're gonna race one day too, man. I think my Audi's faster.
You know, it's not.
No,
thank you. Thank
you.
No,
wait a minute. Hold on. I've got an electric Audi. It's pretty fast, but
you have an electric one?
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's sleek. It's
I have gas. I have a gas car.
No, I don't want gas. No more gas ever for me, actually.
All right, y'all saw them. The power went out.
Yeah, I did. That's why you had two cars.
I mean,
that is true.
Yes.
I tried that life.
Well, I might have like three, do it. Right?
Man.
Huh?
4. Yeah, y'all got like 3 cars over there.
4. I have 4. 1 car. My husband has 3. I have 1.
Because real quick question.
Yep. Pearls and unicorns.
Yes. Somebody is focusing on equity. I just talked about this is not the time to gain tons of equity real quick and all that. But this goes into the last question I prefaced when we talked behind the scenes. Is where do you see the most opportunity for buyers in the greater Charlotte area that want that equity and long-term investment for growth in the greater Charlotte area, not necessarily Charlotte?
Right. You can go first, Ashley.
I would say buy in the outskirts.
Yes.
In areas that are developing. Because people who bought in Coateswold, South End, Noda, Biddleville, all of them, right? All of them. Nobody wanted 2012. To live in those.
Somebody bought like somebody bought.
I sold a house for like, $80,000 in Biddleville.
Clanton Park, like
500. Get like what 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 900 square feet.
Right.
Like 500,000 right now, and they're like, I'm never selling.
Yes, it's like if you buy the house in a developing area. I mean, some people, if they have a family, they're like, they don't want to do that. But if you buy a home in a developing area, your equity will go up with the area. Like Mountain Island Lake, a lot of people that went up. I mean, they even have a hospital out there. They have a whole shopping district. The same
That
people that
whole-
bought Birkdale.
Yep.
Huntersville. I would never wanted to move to Huntersville 10 years ago. I was a Ballantyne girl.
Right.
I'm not because of the traffic now. But you see what I'm saying? It's like things change. I would say go where people are putting their nose up a little bit, because Belmont's average age of people living in Belmont was like 60.
Right.
And then they started developing land because it moved out. And now $600,000 houses instead of the 120s from 7 years ago.
Right. I would add too, man, like, you know, with the need that camera, with the advent of that 485 loop, right?
Yeah, that changed everything.
It changed everything. So
everything.
So typically what I do with the client, like, you know, it's asking a question like curls and unicorns. I will get in the car with them, okay, and we'll just drive the 45 loop and then hit all these little small pockets that I still call Charlotte, but aren't Charlotte necessarily, right? And you hit them all and kind of just let them see, okay, here's what's going on over here, here's what's developing over here. And then from there, it gets kind of easy for them to narrow down, like, they want to kind of hang their hat. So I tell all my folks, listen, you got to get, if you want affordable housing, you got to get outside of Charlotte. Like, Charlotte,
you cannot be Charlotte, comma anymore. If affordable to you means 200, 300.
300, yes.
Yeah, if that's what affordable means to you.
Right. I think the Kings Mountain area too. You know, I was talking to an agent, okay, and I didn't get a chance to look into this, but she's been an agent for a long time. Somebody a mentor per se, right? She told me that I needed to go out to Cleveland County. Okay.
Yeah.
She said because North Carolina, because of the casino, is putting in a lot of bond money into infrastructure in the Kings Mountain and surrounding areas out there, right? She said,
it's sort of like Cherokee. Have you been out to Cherokee before?
No, I haven't been out there, but I heard it's like just growing like crazy.
You got
they started out just like that. Like they started out, that casino started out just like that, and then they just grew it bigger and bigger. So yeah, I mean, I've told people to just buy an investment property, and people that can't stay right there, they can just easily rent yours out.
Right.
But it's a hard sell because there's not a lot of infrastructure. There's not a lot of grocery store options. So it is a hard sell. It has to be an investor that's willing to start low on their rent and then increase it over time. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, excellent choices and suggestions. I would add, Cleveland County out there, Gaston County.
So far.
It is, to me, it is so far.
That is very far.
Albemarle, yeah, Locust.
I made that trek. So there was a house in what is that house out there in Albemarle? It was like 250. That same floor plan here was like 475. True Homes.
Yep. True Homes.
Floor, and better finishes. Like they had all the level 4 finishes up there in Albemarle. So
Albemarle. Another area, there's York, South Carolina, out toward Clover. You want to go where, because as Charlotte grows, you need to, it's going to build. So it's not going to be as enticing for you right now. But just know the places that are enticing are very expensive.
That's right.
So you said you want to think long-term equity and growth. You're going to be an early adopter to an area and watch it grow up around you.
And just watch it grow around you. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I was telling you earlier that I sold lot 1 in Amberley for $295 in that same floor plan. Literally lot 1.
If I can go back, I would buy in Amberley right now.
Yes. Well, Amberley with their old finishes. Yes.
Yes, with their old finishes. And
old
same
finishes.
thing with the I know I told you all about the Griffith Lakes Toll Brothers. I want a townhouse in there myself, so I might be competing against people I'm talking to, and
I know, right?
Simply because one, it's Toll Brothers, excellent location. It's going to be an amazing community. So buy, and they are accepting investors right now, presently.
Have you talked to Renee yet?
I have.
You have, okay. Listen, Renee used to work for me at another company.
Okay.
So I've got.
So you got the end. I got you.
At the end for you, big dog.
I got you. Thank you.
At the end for you, my brother. Done and done.
No.
I got you.
So no, that is it. Do you have any parting words, any advice you want to give to the people in the chat, to potential buyers or sellers as we close out right now?
I would say it's okay to wait. Don't have FOMO.
Mm-hmm.
You're buying a house, not a bag. Like, you can return a bag, but a house.
Real quick, while you say wait, I had somebody, I didn't pick up this question on the chat. I didn't highlight it. But do you think prices are going to continue going down? When you said don't hesitate waiting.
Well, I say, like, wait in a way that you're saving money, you're building credit to make the whole situation better. Because if you do have a lower score, even if they're advertising a 6% interest rate and your score is low, you're not going to get that 6. You're probably going to get an 8. You're already starting from the back. So save money, build that credit. I would say don't rely heavily on down payment assistance, because there's always a caveat attached to it.
Right.
Use it if you want, later, but make sure you're strong, and that's an option, not a need, in my opinion.
Right.
But don't have FOMO. If your friends are buying a house and you see them at home every weekend and you're out by yourself, it's because they bought that house. They got to stay there.
Yeah.
So don't have FOMO. If you can't do it, you're not going to make anyone happy. I don't want you hating me, because I cannot fight. So
right.
But you mentioned that punching bag came in handy during COVID.
So it don't hit you back. So like,
no, it doesn't.
Like,
no, it doesn't.
When I go to boxing classes, that whole dip and slip and stuff, it took me months to learn how to dodge. It took me a while to learn how to dodge. So
yeah, I think what I would leave them with is preparation. So Ashley's touching on it, right? But documentation is key. Like your lender, the people that I see get through the process fairly, I won't say easy, but fairly easy, right? With less challenges, are the people that have saved money, right?
Yep.
They have all their documents together, the tax returns, W-2s, bank statements, right? They're not kind of scrambling around looking for the stuff, and being very responsive to that lender when they're asking you for stuff.
Exactly.
Right? Like you cannot drag your feet once you're under contract and the lender's asking you to send documents in, right? You can't send them in the following week. You're going to lose your money. That's what's going to happen. So I would say preparation, right? Get with a real estate agent, preferably one of the 3 on this podcast, right? Get with an agent in your area, and then make sure you find out what kind of documents you need to have, what kind of credit you need to have, down payment, etc. So that way you come to the table ready to really buy a home. Okay, so that's what I would leave them with.
No, thank you for that. And I'll just piggyback. My coach always told me, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So while you're waiting, continue saving your down payment. Don't go crazy. Well, Christmas is over with, but hopefully you didn't go crazy Christmas shopping, put things on your credit card and stuff like that. Work on your credit, pay down debts, and just be on the lookout. A lot of times, so be on the lookout, and I say be comfortable waiting, but you may have to act before you're ready, because right now, 87% of the population thinks it's a bad time to buy. That's a good thing for first-time home buyers right now, because for the past 2.5 years, you're competing with those 87% of people competing. So if you team up with a solid real estate agent and a loan officer, they'll be able to tell you your options to where you can make it or have properties that are affordable and comfortable for you.
Right.
And just because everybody's doing one thing, to me, that's when I do the actually opposite. When everybody wants to buy, I'm trying to sell. When people are selling or hesitant to buy, that's when I think is a prime time to buy, because you're able to create deals. You don't have to work.
The best investments.
You don't have to. You get to, the numbers may not work for you as it's offered, but as the house sits for 60, 90 days, you make the numbers work for you and where you're comfortable with. And if they're not ready to move forward, fine, let's go to the next house. Do not fall in love with one property. That's my biggest
the offer is back.
Mm.
The offer is back. It's no longer take the blood, take all that. It's I'm going to offer you this, and we're going to sit down and negotiate out a deal.
Right.
It's no longer just throwing darts at a dartboard either. So it's really good.
And I love that.
Really good.
So, real quick, I have the newest team member for the Harrison Group right here.
Oh, man.
Darlene.
All right, Darlene.
Thank you for joining us.
Aww.
Welcome.
Everybody has agents. You're like, there's my agent.
Right?
I'm like, look at them.
As we wrap up, just can you leave your, again, it will be in the description, but can you tell people how to contact you if they want to reach out to you, and then we can wrap up after that.
Okay. Ashley, ladies first.
Okay, well, my YouTube channel is myagentashley.com. It takes you straight to my YouTube. I'll be back January 2nd filming stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
You can, my Calendly is on there. My website is charlottesbestrealestate.com. Yeah, so I'm pretty easily accessible. So
nice.
My cell phone number is on there. It's me that answers. You can text me and stuff. So
nice.
Nice.
My YouTube channel is Selling Charlotte. SELLING Charlotte. So Selling Charlotte. Website is yournextcharlottehome.com. And then you could, of course, find me on, Facebook or Instagram. Facebook, just my name, Shawn, SHAWN, Gerald, GERALD. And on Instagram, it is Shawn Sells Charlotte. I couldn't get Selling Charlotte. So Shawn Sells Charlotte. And the same thing on TikTok too, guys.
You're on TikTok too?
We on TikTok. You gotta.
I cannot tick or talk.
You gotta jump to a new platform. You gotta jump to it.
I cannot. It's so funny.
And
I can't tick or talk.
Yes.
Now, real quick, Shawn has been loving the cold weather because he's been looking fly with his jackets and his sunglasses. Oh my goodness. I'm like, man, here I am with just black on all the time.
You wear black a lot. I asked my husband, I was like, I think he's going to be wearing his hat.
Yeah. No, so I only wear black. Like, that's
really?
the only color I ever.
I wear bright colors all the time. I try to.
No, I try to keep it simple.
I like color too, Ashley. I do too.
Yeah.
I keep it simple. People wonder what I'm doing. I'm wearing black. We'll come to your event. I'm wearing black.
Do you wear like a black button ups or just?
Really? So real quick. I wore suits at my former life, attorney and everything, that had to wear suits all day, all the time.
So you're like,
I thoroughly enjoy wearing a black T-shirt or a black hoodie. Yes, you may see me in the black polo occasionally.
Right. But that's the outfit right there. That's it.
That's it. And if I need to throw on a suit jacket or a jacket, it's going to be a black T-shirt underneath it. It just is what it is.
Every time I see him, he's got a black T-shirt, black sweatshirt, like every time. Never fails.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
So I like yellow and coral. Wow. Yellow, obviously my walls.
I like them all.
But no. Again, thank you all. We have to do this again. You have to, again, we'll just touch base and see what everybody's schedule is like. Again, thank you all for watching. I think we had up to 101 people watching at one time. So, no, thank you. They really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it. So I appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Sir Ashley, and thank you, Ashley.